One. Hi, Claudia. Welcome to the NTM Growth Marketing Podcast. I'm excited to be speaking with you today and learn more about Go Skills.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew. I'm pretty excited to be here myself.
Well, let's start off and hear a little bit more about what is Go Skills and what is your role at the organization?
Go Skills is an online educational platform. So we offer business courses to individuals, but more recently, to organizations that want to train their employees in business skills. And my job here is to coordinate all the marketing efforts, all the marketing projects that go into doing that and making ourselves more visible in the edtech space.
What does a day in the life of Claudia look like?
Oh, wow. Well, because I'm head of marketing and content, and in our context, content means articles and courses and whatever else that we put out there for consumption. On a daily basis, it means that I'm coordinating with our social media manager what content she shares with our general audience. It involves Google ads and Bing ads and other marketing efforts, whatever we put on our platform for people to see what Go Skills is about and what we offer. So daily, quite a bit of tracking tasks and making sure that people have the resources that they need to get those tasks done on time and to make sure that people see us in the way that we want to be seen and that they can discover our solutions for their organizations.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on how edtech marketing is different from other verticals. And I'll use the example of, my Yeti microphone. This was something I bought on Amazon. It was a one-click purchase for $70. How is edtech marketing different than other verticals? I'd love to hear your opinion.
Well, so in the edtech space, so I want to start by going back to the Go Skills history, which is the fact that we started as primarily a business to consumer platform. So it started exactly now, 11 years ago, where our co-founder, she wanted to take an Excel course, actually, is where it started. And she was too busy to sit in a classroom, so she decided, okay, I'll just try to find one online. And it turned out that the course quality online was pretty disappointing. I mean, this was 11 years ago. Not a lot of great Excel content was available then. And she reached out to her network. And long story short, this developed into an idea for her to be able to provide high quality Excel courses to busy people like herself. And so that's where we started. And then gradually we found that the quality of our courses were so good that organizations wanted to be able to train their employees on how to use Excel. And so we started offering packages to organizations, and we've blossomed to where we are now. And so our North Star is still that high quality and convenience. And so the marketing for the space that we're in, what we found is that on a consumer basis, everyone wants to learn Excel. Some people think it's really this advanced program that they'll never be able to wrap their minds around, but it's pretty important because it helps them to manage data. And so there's lots of people who are interested. So in terms of volume, that's massive. But when we start to do it for organizations, we find that there are fewer people whose job it is to be responsible for large numbers of learners. So our marketing it's pretty competitive because there's so many people in the learning management marketing space, but there's a smaller pie, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever run into Miss Excel?
For sure. Yeah, we have. So
go ahead, continue your thought.
yeah, I was gonna say that all of the individuals who market to or who sell Excel courses to individuals, they're always quite welcome to offer courses on Go Skills because people who are trusted, like we mentioned, our North Star is quality. So if large numbers of people trust them, then it seems like they may be a good fit for, what we're trying to achieve, which is engaged learners, completed courses. And so, yeah, people like lots of MVPs on Excel, they are trainers for Go Skills as well.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you can create a engaging content that people interact with something that might not be as flashy as, a sports team, for instance. I dreaded all my Microsoft Excel courses in high school and college, but I gave the example of Miss Excel because she's done such a great way of making it fun and, inviting to learn that.
Yeah. So that goes into something that's really, it became a buzzword a few years ago, microlearning, which is now how everybody is learning. Like, thanks to social media, people are expecting to be able to learn at least one thing in a few seconds.
Mhm.
So all the way back from 10 years ago, microlearning is one of the biggest aspects of what we do. So none of our videos are longer than 5 minutes, for instance, and you learn one thing in each
Mhm.
video. So what we've gathered, like even recently, we did a case study on an organization that's been really successful in training their employees. And we interviewed not only the admin of that organization, but we interviewed a learner who, I love her quote. My favorite section of what she said was, "I can learn something in the time that it takes for my oven to preheat." I love it because she's like, I've got so many things to do, but I have to wait on this oven to preheat, right? It takes
Mhm.
a minute or two, but she can learn something. So she's maximizing, um, you know, whatever she's doing. And so, yeah, you're right. Miss Excel, she's great at using that short format for people to learn one single thing. And so things like that, we try to connect with our audience and what connects with them, and make sure that it's something that we're doing so that they get value from our platform.
Do you experiment with any long form based content, or are you very short form micro learning with as an organization?
We do have long form content. Most of that is like if we have a webinar, and
Mhm.
there are people who obviously they prefer longer form content.
Mhm.
We found that so YouTube has shorts, as you know, and so we started publishing shorts as well. So we have these different formats. We have the shorts that are like 30 seconds. We have the longer videos that are like 3 to 5 minutes. We have webinars. I remember one comment that we got on one of our shorts where someone said, "This is too short. I need, you went too fast. I need
Mhm.
to learn this in a longer format." Fortunately, all of our shorts have the accompanying longer video, which is a tutorial where someone does a voiceover and explains what's happening. But yeah, you're right. It also highlights the need for us to be flexible and to offer options because people learn differently, right?
Right. I want to hear your thoughts around innovation and marketing. I think you just gave a great example, and I've heard the term the TikTokification of content. Why is innovation and marketing important? And are there any other examples you can share of ways your organization has been innovating?
Yeah. So things are always evolving. I mean, from the dawn of time, right? So those who don't adapt, they get left behind. And like I mentioned, we started with Excel,
Mhm.
and we found that, yeah, there's thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of people who want to learn Excel. But some of those same people, they want to learn other things. So we found that, okay, these same people want to learn other Office apps. So we expanded our library back then to offer Microsoft Office, then project management, Lean Six Sigma, most recently leadership and management. And that's where courses are concerned. Then more innovation meant that when organizations wanted to use Go Skills, they're like, yeah, well, how about some place where we can manage all of this learning? We don't just want to make it available to people, but we want to see who is learning what, who is taking initiative. So that led to the creation of
Mhm.
our LMS, which is the learning management system. And then there are people who get thrown into certain roles. So accidental project managers, accidental instructional designers, even. and they needed to build e-learning courses, but they had no formal training. So that led us to create our course builder, which is amazing. As an instructional designer myself, awesome. It allows someone to create a course with no coding experience. Any knowledge that they have can become a course in
Mm.
a few minutes, literally. And I think the most recent innovation, the most recent, I guess you could say experiment for Go Skills is a movement toward product-led growth,
Mm.
product-led marketing, where our vision is to create a product that people can experience without too much friction and have that be of so much value to them that they're willing to pay for that product. So yeah, for sure. Innovation is always needed in marketing, right?
Can you clarify a little bit more on what product-led marketing means?
Yeah. Okay. So we want to make our product available for free to as many people as possible.
Mhm.
That's it in a nutshell. So we want them to be able to experience it without it being behind a paywall. Um, and we're doing that by making things like Genie, which is our course authoring tool, free. And so people can come on the platform for free, set up an account for free, build courses for free, unlimited number of courses, invite whatever number of learners you like, and experience how great. And I work here, but I truly do believe that it is an amazing initiative that people can say, hey, I want to see what this is like without being forced to be in a sales meeting, without being
Mhm.
forced to being sold to for myself. I trust me to evaluate whether this is good for me, whether this product is right for me. And then when they do evaluate that, well, there are some premium aspects of the product that you can say, even without paying for the premium aspects, I can see already that this product is great for my organization, so I'll be willing to pay for it. And so that's what it is. It's less about content-led growth. We do
Mhm.
have that, so it's kind of a marketing mix. But now product-led growth, which we've been doing for the better part of a year now, is to give the product away as much as we can afford to. And we believe that the people will come because they love it so much.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on what role AI has played in any innovation at Go Skills. What's the latest and greatest at AI, within your organization, or just your thoughts industry wide, how it's going to impact marketing?
I'll talk about both.
Okay.
On the company perspective, so in May of last year, we launched Genie, which Genie is our content assistant. What it does is through guided prompts, someone can build a course with content. We all know how ChatGPT works. The content aspect of it is fairly understandable by everyone by now. But the part of it that I think is really innovative is that it not only gives you the content, but it organizes that in a course structure. So for someone who is an ID, an instructional designer, honestly, that's the hardest part of putting a course together because you have all these ideas in your head, but they're not organized. And so sometimes, you keep putting it off because you're like, oh, I have this course. It might take me two, 2 months to put this together just because putting that down on paper or storyboarding, whatever method you use, it does get messy. What Genie does, it says, even if you don't know anything about AI, there is this modal that asks you, okay, who is the audience? What level do you want this to be? Is it basic, intermediate, or advanced? What are the objectives? What do you hope that your audience will come away with at the end? And how long, do you want this course to be? With those guided prompts, you enter that, and it creates the course. You can see it creating the course with the lessons, content, quizzes,
Mhm.
overview, and even if you're just using that for the ideation process of how you formulate the course, it cut my course creation time in at least half, at least. And then it reduces the time if you are a creator, but you need to run it by a subject matter expert. It reduces the work of the SME also because, they do fact checking, which we know that you need to do with AI, but there's so much fewer errors or corrections that need to be made by the SME. So that's on the Go Skills side.
Awesome.
On the bigger landscape, I think it's pretty much a wait and see right now. We want to see how things like Gemini are going to affect the bigger picture, and exciting stuff like being able to convert text to video. That's going to be exciting. I'm pretty much waiting on that to drop, because that's going to be great when it's ready, because people, like we mentioned, learn in different formats, right? Not just text, video, and different formats. So yeah, it's going to be great.
My last question today, Claudia, is around how marketers can be more effective in cross-departmental collaboration, communication. I think of, whether it's a CFO to maybe VP of sales to the CEO. How can we as marketers be more effective in enrolling more advocates versus adversaries across departments?
Yeah, I think all of us, in theory, we all know that we all come into an organization with different levels of experience and from different angles. So in theory, we all know that, but it's possible that we think that we are the experts in our field, at least, which might not be the case. You might have, in our example, we have a great team of development engineers, and they might create a great solution, but then it might take a very junior member of the team to say, but I wish it could do so and so.
Mhm.
And so it's all about not what you produce or what you conceive, but it's about what the recipient gets. It's communication 101. It's not just what you say, but it's what someone understands from what you said. And so the same thing applies in marketing. I may ideate some kind of asset or marketing piece that I think is great, but another member of the team or even someone outside the team might have a suggestion.
Mhm.
It's not a dictatorship, right? So we need to learn from our team and learn from even people outside the team. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, Claudia, can you share ways to follow up with you, learn more about Go Skills?
Yeah, well, we're available on all the social media platforms. I'm very active on LinkedIn, so you can find me there. It's Claudia Buckley. And for Go Skills, we are available on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and everywhere else that you find all your other usual social media content.
And what's the URL?
It's goskills.com.
Perfect, Claudia. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.